I gotta give up smoking.
Tired of the ordinary at lunchtime? Why not try something smart to chew on? The Lunchroom on RCI, Monday to Friday, 12:45 to 2 p.m. The Lunchroom, informative, enlightening, provocative, engaging. The Lunchroom on RCI, food for thought. The station that gives you, more lunch.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Lunchroom on Radio Caribbean International. It is Thursday, the 12th of December, 2024. And of course, this is our last show for the year 2024. I'm your host, Alex George Jr. Now, of course, in addition to 101.1 FM radio, you can get us at our website, rcistlucia.com. We are also streaming live on Facebook. You just have to search for the official page of Radio Caribbean International. And please be sure to like and share that as well with your friends and family. And some birthday greetings going out for today to Mr. Fidel Chad Auguste. Happy birthday to you, sir. And we do hope that you're having an absolutely wonderful and splendid day. And also to a former classmate of mine as well, Mr. Morris Compton. Happy birthday to you. And we do hope that you're having a wonderful, blessed, and exciting birthday. Of course, it's a very special number, isn't it? 12 of 24. It all kind of fits in very nicely there. So we hope that you're doing things in a doubly blessed way. Now, a bit of history for today. Back in the year 627 AD, the Battle of Nineveh occurred, and that was between the Byzantine Emperor Heraclius defeating the Sassanid forces during the Byzantine-Sassanid War. In the year 1901, Guglielmo Marconi sent the first transatlantic radio signal from Poldhu in Cornwall to Newfoundland in Canada. I suppose, as they say, the rest is history. 1925, last Qajar Shah of Iran was deposed, and that was Reza Shah Pahlavi taking over after that event. In 1946, the United Nations accepted 6 Manhattan blocks as a gift from John D. Rockefeller Jr. 1964, on this day, Kenya became an independent republic, with Jomo Kenyatta becoming its first president. And that happened on this day, December the 12th, 1964. 2000, on this day, the United States Supreme Court released its 5-4 decision in the Bush versus Gore matter, settling the recount dispute in Florida. And that was during the 2000 presidential election. And that was in George W. Bush's favor, and thus handing him the presidency over Al Gore. 2015, on this day, COP21 Climate Change Summit in Paris reached a deal between 195 countries to limit the rise in the global average temperature to less than 2 degrees above pre-industrial levels. And in 2019, on this day, another very interesting bit of history, British general election was won by Boris Johnson's Conservative Party in a landslide victory with an 80-seat majority at the time, while the Scottish National Party won 58 of the 59 seats in Scotland. And we now move on to our dish of the day. The daily dish is brought in the kind compliments of our good friends at Tiles Plus.
One tiles for your home, I see. Bathroom, kitchen, pantry. Need tiles for your balcony. Come down to Tiles Plus, satisfaction guarantee. Tiles Plus, Tiles Plus, Tiles Plus. Big tiles with unbeatable cost. Customer service, A+, with all kind of tiles. Come down to Tiles Plus. We also got gasware and vanity. Books, doors, you'll see. Come down to my nobody. We got the best tiles on island. Trust me. We are located Lance Road in Castries, Bosses Grocery Lanes, and Flag Street in Beaufort. Telephone number 453-7939. Tiles Plus.
Serving now, the Daily Dish.
And welcome back to our program for today. It's the final program of the year 2024. And of course, we want to extend our very best greetings to all our listeners, all those who call into the program, who follow us on our Facebook Live. And of course, we do hope and wish you a very, very blessed season as we, of course, are heading into we are into that the Christmas season, and a time, of course, for thinking about family and friends and celebrating, and also looking back at the year gone by and seeing what has been good, what has been productive, what has been successful, what can we celebrate, but as well, of course, look at the challenges as well and things that we could have perhaps done differently, things we could have done better, and no doubt to be thankful for the experience of learning and to certainly look towards a new year, 2025, another round, near period around the sun, basically, with some hope and optimism. Of course, it has been a very exciting year for St. Lucia in very many different respects and in very many different sectors. And certainly, we can thank our athletes for performing tremendously and giving the country a significant boost of pride and self-confidence in regard to their achievements. And of course, very in particular, the achievement just about 6 months ago by Julian Alfred in particular certainly stands out. The remarkable achievement that she has had, and the journey, of course, seeing how she started off as a young girl, coming from Cicero, running many a time barefoot on the Mindu Phillip Park, and to leave Mindu Phillip Park and to end up in the Stade de France in the Olympics is already a significant journey. And of course, the journey that even brought her there saw a tremendous amount of joy in terms of her early successes at the Commonwealth Youth Games, and of course, her time over in Jamaica, representing St. Catherine High, and then, of course, moving on to University of Texas, Austin, and representing that university's teams in the many collegiate athletics meets, the Texas Longhorns, and really showing how her singular efforts could put a country on the map. And she has done it in the grandest way one could potentially imagine. Certainly that of winning an Olympic gold medal in not just any event, in what is undoubtedly one of the most competitive and most watched, most followed events in athletics, in the 100 meters. And she went again and did it in the 200 meters. So astounding performance, astounding opportunity to celebrate. And certainly as a country, we have been able to do that. And certainly we should continue to look towards our people. If anything, that is the message, to look towards the abilities of our very own people to be able to shine and to be able to make the mark, despite not having the grandiose infrastructure and amenities and opportunities that many in other countries, developed countries, may have. We've been able to show some remarkable successes there. And of course, there have been many others to note. Of course, the St. Lucia Kings, that franchise being able to finally break through and bring home a win in the Caribbean Premier League. That certainly went down pretty well for many there. And of course, seeing a return of cricket in all its different forms, whether it is in the CPL form or the World Cup, which we also witnessed this year, and the opportunity to see certainly a revitalized Darren Sammy Cricket Ground, and to be able to bring people together in these very, very important and impactful celebrations of human strength and prowess on the field. And so we certainly have quite a lot to be thankful for and hopeful for. Of course, it has been a pretty positive year on the basis of what we're hearing coming out of some of these agencies like the IMF and the Caribbean Development Bank, the ECCB, all projecting positive growth in the economy, which of course is very important for livelihoods, for the ability for people to succeed and to be able to live. Of course, that happening against the background of challenging times around the world. And we still, of course, have had a lot to deal with in terms of the challenges of inflation, in particular in the areas of energy and in food. Have made it more difficult for a lot of families, for a lot of households to be able to make ends meet. And it certainly has also placed a reminder that we certainly have to look at our security and our independence when it comes to the matter, these basics of feeding ourselves, and as well being able to have enough energy for ourselves. And so many of these issues are very important, and they continue to be critical and requiring a certain level of great attention. Of course, we are still dealing with the issues of climate change and how that is in fact impacting on our everyday lives, and that ever present issue of increasing heat, increasing temperatures, how that, of course, is impacting on our energy bills and on many other aspects of our lives that we sometimes are not even aware of. But of course, we depend on the environment, and our environment is in flux. It is changing. And there are lots and lots of risks with respect to just that. So there's lots to take in, of course, for the year, and there's lots to look at, and no doubt there'll be lots of lessons to be learned with respect to various happenings, and how to try to figure out how to find a balancing act in so many areas. One of the major challenges, of course, has been that of health and safety. I mean, let's just put it together, perhaps, or health and security. It's been put together in that way, in any case, in terms of we now have a health and security levy that has been panned out. And quite recently, the Prime Minister, at the opening of the National Eye Clinic, that's at the former Victoria Hospital, now Dr. Winston Paris Medical Complex, and the polyclinic there, was pointing out that at best the expectations is that that health and security levy may be bringing in somewhere around $34 to $38 million at the end of the financial year. And the point was being made by the Minister for Health that back in 2020, when there was in fact a shift from Victoria Hospital to commission the OKEU hospital, the government at the time was budgeting somewhere around $30 million to be able to run St. Jude Hospital. And he was pointing out that that figure now has doubled, right? It is now, I think, about 64 million EC dollars going towards running the operations of OKEU. And let's also be reminded, though, that even with that amount, even though it is doubled, it is still inadequate for that hospital to be able to meet all its expenses. Of course, the hope to some degree has been that there would be improved collections and what have you, but we know the realities regarding that have still been very, very challenging. And so he was making the point that and in fact, I think the prime minister was also saying at that very same event that the government has had to step in to put in about $15 million to deal with the backlog of payables due to for suppliers and support services. You name it, from medical gases, ensuring that there's enough oxygen, to support for people who need to go over to Martinique. And the healthcare bill, from the perspective of the Ministry of Health, is in the region of $191 million. And the chances are that is perhaps going to have to continue to rise if, in fact, we are going to be seeing or want to see the kind of healthcare offering from the country that we would obviously want to all enjoy. Being sick is never a good thing, and health is literally a matter of life and death. And we, of course, all have to face death at some point, right? Those are the two certainties in life, right? Death and taxes. But of course, the human pursuit is, generally speaking, to want to have the enjoyment of a long and healthy and happy life. And so that is a really important aspect in the quality of life that we can enjoy, ensuring that we can actually live healthy lives. And of course, in as much as one would want to be able to live those healthy lives through doing what is necessary to keep our bodies healthy in terms of diet, in terms of exercise, in terms of having a clean environment to live in. And so, of course, even things like noise, right? The noise can impact people's health, right? So the quality of our water, the quality of our food, the quality of the air that we breathe, the environment that we are living in, from a natural perspective, but also from the perspective of the society as well, right? Is the society a positively healthy society in terms of your mental wellness, right? And are we supporting each other? Are we providing positive, affirmation? Are we providing a healthy and wholesome type of environment in different places, whether it's at the workplace, whether it's in schools, whether you find it at home? So all of these things are certainly part of this whole issue of wellness, right? Of being holistically well, and so that certainly is really, when you think about it, the raison d'être of existence to a great degree, that we want to be able to ensure that at the very least we can enjoy that. And so and of course that would allow us then to be productive, to support society, to do things in the society, right? And so really, healthcare is foundational. The other reality of it, of course, is that a lot of healthcare spending is in the beginning, and at the end of life, right? In the very early periods, of course, maternal health care, prenatal, postnatal care, and of course, ensuring that children are growing up well. Those issues, of course, are really, really important in terms of the long-term trajectory of people's lives, ensuring, in fact, that they get a good start. And so, of course, that whole idea of 0 to 5, early childhood development, is ensuring, yes, that there's a good uh, educational environment, but also a healthy environment as well in terms of nutrition, in terms of ensuring that all things are in place, whether it's vaccines, whether it's other aspects of healthcare to deal with children's development. But beyond that, of course, at the other end of the spectrum too, there of course tends to be this rise in costs in terms of healthcare, and end of life healthcare or care for seniors can be very expensive, especially when persons are now faced with disease challenges. And so, of course, this is where the whole matter of the burden of non-communicable diseases is a major, major challenge. And we, of course, will not have all the answers, but certainly there are things that we should be perhaps doing better as individuals and as a society to be able to get to that point. So, of course, it is no doubt a lot to take in, and unfortunately, sometimes the reality is that we are going to lose some of our loved ones, and of course, we want to be able to, as much as possible, enjoy life regardless of however short it may be. But let us hope, though, that as a society, we don't get into a comfortable position thinking that it's okay for young people to be losing their lives in their teens and in their 20s and 30s, particularly as a result of violence. And that, unfortunately, has been the continued trend that we have been dealing with as a society. The matter of gun violence, the matter of guns coming into into our society, and seeing how devastating the presence of a large proportion of arms is in any society. Uh, we, of course, have been hearing about this trend of, guns coming in barrels, guns coming in at the back of appliances, hidden away, and they're no longer coming in merely as a result of contraband coming through illegal means. They sometimes coming through legal ports of entry, and so it is a major risk and a major catastrophe that we are dealing with. And I know there will be some, of course, who will point out that we are seeing increased violent crimes all across the Caribbean, and also in even the United States of America, in particular in some cities, you're seeing increases in gun violence as well. But we certainly, as a country, cannot afford the impact that we're seeing in terms of so much violence. It is having a clear impact on our healthcare, our health system, and it is something that we should not have to be, facing, even given the fact that we've got so many other challenges to deal with within the healthcare sector. So that matter is, of course, a serious one, and we do have to think about the issue of prevention. These things, at the end of it all, we should be able to say are all preventable, because they are all being caused by human beings taking deliberate action to go out to kill other people, right? And so, therefore, these are not These are not matters of acts of God. These are not natural disasters. These are things that we are doing to ourselves. And therein is where we've got a significant challenge as a country to be able to tackle the mindsets, to be able to tackle the situation in terms of people's lives, quality of life, but also what is putting people within this trajectory, within this path, which leads to these types of very, very unfortunate outcomes. And again, we may not have all the answers, but I think we should be seeing how, of course, as a society, we can begin doing a little bit more. And of course, I'm hopeful that we can see some changes, especially in terms of the system of justice that we have, of course, the efforts with the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, very, very critical there. And, I remember it was a long time ago, there was this big issue of, I think it was, of course, this is the nature of politics, the claim that Prime Minister of the time, Dr. Kenny Anthony, had asked the criminals to give a break for Christmas. All right. And I think he was given lots of criticism for that kind of statement. But we certainly do need to be able to find at some point, where do we make a break? Where do we decide that violence, that retribution, that this whole idea of revenge is not going to find an end that is going to be beneficial to anyone? It is a never ending vicious cycle once you believe that it is going to be a tit for tat, a back and forth. That will never ever succeed. And so at some point there has to be a point where we say enough is enough. It is a very unfortunate situation, of course, no doubt about it. And there is a desire from many people to want to see justice. They obviously want to know that individuals who have taken certain actions, who have taken lives needlessly, are in fact held to account, are in fact brought before courts to be able to face the justice system and for justice to be served. And we do know that, of course, that is easier said than done, because in many instances, unfortunately, what happens is that we have people getting ahead of the system. They take matters into their own hands and they exact their idea of justice, right? And that is not for us to do, right? This is not individuals on their own really should not be exacting justice in that way. And in fact, it is not justice either way. So certainly we need to be able to, as a society, sit down as we lead into 2025, as we're looking into another year where we have over 70 homicides, to begin to say, how is it going to be in 2025 and 2026 and 2027, 28, 2029, by the time we get to our 50th year of independence? Is this what we want to be seen as a country? A place of violence, a place of lawlessness, a society where people do not respect life and people's liberties and people's opportunities to be able to live life freely and unencumbered by fear. And so that is, of course, a major task that as a society we have to take on in 2025. We're actually due for our weather report already. So I believe we're going to actually end our dish of the day at this point so we can take in the weather report.
This has been The Daily Dish.
One tiles for your home, I see. Bathroom, kitchen, pantry. Need tiles for your balcony. Come down to Tiles Plus, satisfaction guarantee. Tiles Plus, Tiles Plus, Tiles Plus. Big tiles with unbeatable cost. Customer service, A+. This all kind of tiles. Come down to Tiles Plus. We also black gasway and vanity. Box, doors, you'll see. Come down to my nobody. We got the best tiles on island. Trust me. We are located Land Street in Castries, Bosses, Grocery Lakes, and Flag Street in Beaufort. Telephone number 453-7939. Tiles Plus.
Michael, where you going with all that speed?
Girl, I hear Allen Style have a big Christmas sale, up to 50% off on all kind of tiles. Wall tiles, hexagon, subway, mosaics, and wood look tiles like you will see on HGTV.
You serious? I see they have a lot of new products too, like vinyl flooring, wall panels, ceiling tiles, even travertine to make your pool look top notch. That on sale too?
Yes, girl, it's everything store-wide. I see they have got cleaners and sealers too. Tell me, beer sal, I need those for sure.
Hey, girl, that's not a biggie, but we heading to Island Style right now.
Visit Island Style Talent Bath now in Castries, Rodney Bay, and Viewfort. Find us on social media or call 450-452 or 453-TILE. Don't miss out on this incredible Christmas sale.
This is Radio Caribbean International. It's now time for the weather news.
So the first of the 1.1 is now time for your weather report as of 12 noon today, presented by Island Style Talent Bath. The forecast for St. Lucia Valley for the next 24 hours, the winds will be blowing from between the northeast and east near 8 miles per hour or 13 kilometers per hour, becoming lighter and variable or calm at times. The forecast for the lesser entities, fair to occasionally cloudy skies with widely scattered showers over the southern windward islands and areas for the south. Elsewhere, fair to partly cloudy for a few showers. And the weather summary, light to moderate northeasterly to easterly winds will continue across the eastern Caribbean region during the next 24 hours. Moisture and instability associated with a trough system in the vicinity of the lesser Antilles will move gradually across the islands, producing occasional cloudy periods with some moderate showers over the. I'm going to read this over. And the weather summary, light to moderate northeasterly to easterly winds will. And the weather summary, light to moderate northeasterly to easterly winds will continue across the eastern Caribbean region during the next 24 hours. Moisture and instability associated with a trough system in the vicinity of the lesser Antilles will move gradually across the islands, producing occasional cloudy periods with some moderate showers over the southern and lesser Antilles during the forecast period. And this was your weather report as of 12 noon today, presented by Island Style Talent Bath.
This has been RCI's Weather News. For more information, call the Weather Hotline at 454-3452. RCI 101 number 1.
Michael, where you going with all that speed?
Girl, I hear Allen Style have a big Christmas sale, up to 50% off on all kind of tiles. Wall tiles, hexagon, subway, mosaics, and wood look tiles like you will see on HGTV.
You serious? I see they have a lot of new products too, like vinyl flooring, wall panels, ceiling tiles, even travertine to make your pool look top notch. That on sale too?
Yes, girl, it's everything store-wide. I see they have got cleaners and sealers too. Tell me, beer sal, I need those for sure.
Hey, girl, that's not a biggie, but we heading to Island Style right now.
Visit Island Style Talent Bath now in Castries, Rodney Bay, and Viewfort. Find us on social media or call 450-452 or 453-TILE. Don't miss out on this incredible Christmas sale.
The Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs introduces the Dr. Betty Wells Urban Polyclinic at the newly transformed Dr. Winston C. Paris Medical Complex, formerly Victoria Hospital, from Monday, 16th December 2024. We're revolutionizing healthcare with services designed to keep you thriving. Medical clinics, urgent care, diabetic and hypertensive care, wound management, pharmacy services, home visits, and so much more. Medical and urgent care operating hours 8 a.m. to midnight. But that's not all. The National Eye Clinic within the complex brings world-class eye care to your doorstep. From diabetic retinopathy screening to glaucoma testing, cataract surgeries, and community eye screenings, we're here to help you see a brighter tomorrow. Operating hours 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact the National Eye Clinic at 468-8011 or 285-3046 to schedule your appointment today. Dr. Winston C. Paris Medical Complex. Quality healthcare for life.
And welcome back to our program for today. It is, of course, the day before National Day. And tomorrow will be a holiday here in St. Lucia, the 13th of December. That stems from the Feast of St. Lucy. And I think there are pretty much two countries where it is, you could say, celebrated in that way. Of course, here in St. Lucia, as well as in Sweden. And there's a bit of a light festival, usually children holding candles and that sort of thing occurring over there. Of course, it will be the Festival of Lights here in St. Lucia. I think that's happening at the Derek Walcott Square, and other festivities, of course, in the lead up to the Christmas season. So, of course, we do hope that everybody enjoys their National Day holiday, and of course the rest of the holiday season. Of course, if you want to call in to tell us what's on your plate today, you can feel free to do so. It is 452-3046. Again, 452-3046. Now, I just wanted to pay some tribute to a gentleman who lost his life very recently. And in fact, we'll do that in just a bit. Let's take a call first. Good afternoon. Welcome to the lunchroom. And what is on your plate today? Oh, it's all done. You've eaten on time. That's good. You're doing better than I am. Yes. Yes, that's correct. Until next year, God willing. My pleasure. You're most welcome. Thank you. And thank you for calling on a regular basis as well. and enlightening us as to what is also being discussed on other programs. So that's always very engaging. Indeed. Thank you. Mm. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You talking about that was the bail amount, or when you say that he was okay, uh-huh. Mm. Wow. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the matter of school discipline, I think, is another major one that we've got to take on. We've got to also look at the issue of within our school system too. I know it's a school, but then the school and its relationship with the community, the relationship with parents, families, something has to be. I mean, yes, you have PTAs, but there are some. You have some perhaps families that are structured okay, they're working okay, they're supporting their children, but you got a lot of them where you don't even really have a family support system. You've got children raising themselves. The matter of barrel babies is another one. Parents not being around, or parents maybe working on a cruise ship, parents not being present, and so that is a major societal challenge that we've got to have to look at, because the question is, where is all of this coming from, right? Who are the individuals who are acting out with violence in these ways, and to figure out those stories. Yeah. Well, but it also requires. I'm not saying that it's. I mean, what you're saying is wrong because in the past where you could say, well, this was how things used to work out. Parents and teachers used to, have this sort of, the teacher would have known who the parent was in many instances. The society might have been small enough in that way, but and maybe it still is to some degree. But I think you do need some training in that regard. You may need some specialists as well. I mean, have we come to the point where you need maybe a social worker attached to a school, or I mean, especially or the school district or whatnot, because a counselor. Well, secondary schools, but not the primary schools, not the primary schools, and many of the problems that we're seeing, they're starting from primary schools too. They're not even by the time they even get into a secondary school. It's they're graduating to another level of antisocial behavior and other problems. So, hmm, like a youth service or volunteer service, you mean? Yes, okay. Yeah, yeah. So, mhm. Yes, indeed. Well, thanks very, very much for your contribution, caller, and have yourself a wonderful, wonderful season. Uh, at when is your birthday? Oh, okay. So you're the day after Boxing Day, the Christmas holiday. Okay, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Glad to know that. Take care. Have a good one, and enjoy your birthday as well. Bye bye. And of course, one of our regular callers, we want to thank her for her regular interventions. Very, very useful indeed. Of course, the number to call in to tell us what's on your plate today is 452-3046. Again, 452-3046. And of course, you can also message in on our WhatsApp number or call in 724 0008. 724-0008. Like I mentioned, I wanted to send my condolences to the family of Mr. Leonard Robinson. And he was, in fact, well, we were at school around the same time at St. Mary's College. He was a couple of years ahead of me. And unfortunately, he passed quite suddenly over in Taiwan. But we make mention of that in just a bit. Good afternoon. Welcome to the lunchroom. And what's on your plate today? Hello? Looks like that caller may have hung up. Okay, let's take in this call now. Good afternoon. Welcome to the lunchroom. What's on your plate today? Hello, good afternoon. Yes. Yes. Mm. Mm-hmm. 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 Same to you. Many happy returns. Thanks very much for that point, and you are very much spot on regarding that. Thank you. Uh, you know, there was a time when you learned parenting, I suppose, through your parents, right? It was a skill that was passed down. It was a system of practice that would have been passed down, but unfortunately, we may have seen breaks along the way, and even the matter of, you know, preparation for becoming a parent is not always there, is it? There has to be this sense of preparation, and there is no parenting school, as far as I know, and maybe parental education is one of these things that is somewhat missing in our society. I don't know is it continuing education or how you would put it in, but it's an important aspect, and there may have been a time when it was done through maybe the church, or it was done through some institution, maybe mothers and fathers groups, but the whole idea of parenting as the first and most important job, I think, is something that definitely we do need to bring greater awareness to. I just wanted to, as I said before we end, to make a mention of the contribution of Leonard Robinson. In fact, there is a note which has been sent out from the ministry which he was attached to. Very, very unfortunate that this young man has passed quite suddenly. And I just want to read the note from the Ministry of Education. It is with profound sadness that the Ministry of Education, Sustainable Development, Innovation, Science and Technology, and Vocational Training announces the untimely passing of Mr. Leonard Robinson, our esteemed modern foreign language curriculum officer with the Curriculum and Materials Development Unit, CAMDU. Mr. Robinson was a passionate advocate for language education and cultural exchange, whose dedication and expertise shaped the teaching and learning of modern foreign languages in our schools. His unwavering commitment to excellence and his compassionate spirit left an indelible mark on colleagues, educators, and students alike. The ministry mourns the loss of a highly valued colleague, mentor, and friend. His work and his kindness have created a legacy that will resonate far beyond his years of service. His absence will be deeply felt within CAMDU, the broader education community, and by all who had the privilege of knowing him. We extend our deepest condolences to his family, friends, and all those who were touched by his life and work. During this time of grief, we hold his loved ones in our thoughts and prayers. May his soul rest in eternal peace, and may his passion for education and cultural understanding continue to inspire us all. And indeed, I knew Leonard quite well. He was, in fact, Sumerian, a graduate of St. Mary's College. In fact, I think he was a student of the year and valedictorian in the year 1997. And in fact, I think that in that year, according to former principal of the school, Mr. Rowan Sion, he in fact was a multi-language graduation award winner in French, Spanish, and English, and in fact taught as well at St. Mary's College for about 4 years in the foreign languages. And of course, he was also as was mentioned in that release by the Ministry of Education, the foreign languages specialist at CAMDU, which is responsible for things like curriculum development and programming across the education system. And it's interesting because, of course, he was very much involved, not just in of course, the system, the French and Spanish, which you, of course, are teaching at secondary schools right now, but also we've moved into introducing some of those foreign languages at the primary school level. And as well, just recently, you'd have noted that the introduction of the Creole language program being piloted in some of the primary schools as well. And so he was certainly involved in a number of these initiatives, as well as even Mandarin. All right. And of course, we would appreciate China as the most populous country in the world. And lots of millions and millions and millions of people speak Mandarin as their language of birth. And there have been efforts through the Republic of China, Taiwan, to promote Mandarin here in St. Lucia, and it's happening in some of the secondary schools, St. Mary's College, St. Joseph's Convent, I know for sure as well. I think at the South Lewis Community College, I could stand corrected on that one, but in other places, it's being introduced. And in fact, he had been on a program, on a short course program over in Taiwan at the time of his passing. Well, on the 12th today, but of course, it's already ahead. They're ahead of time in Taiwan, and unfortunately, he has ended up passing at a very, very early age of just being 44. So we certainly want to extend our condolences to his family, especially to his mother Joan, and his father, sisters, to all those members of his family, and of course, we want to wish them our commiserations at his very much untimely loss at this time. So life is, of course, very precious, and that's good memories to remember that this is, in fact, you never know what can, in fact, end up happening. So, and of course, he made an indelible contribution to learning and other learning trajectories of many individuals out there who have taken up foreign languages, which of course is so very important. In as much as we have in this world today artificial intelligence, and we've got systems that help you with translation and all of that, you still definitely require the multilingualism is very, very important, and we can be a much stronger country, a much more diverse country, if we are, in fact, more like Leonard in that regard, with a love of languages and the means to communicate across what sometimes we see as barriers, which can, in fact, certainly become wonderful opportunities. That's our program for the week, for the day, for the year. And of course, we want to again extend our best wishes to everybody. And of course, to all those, the team here at Radio Caribbean International that make it happen behind the scenes. Of course, Hyper, who's right here on a daily basis. Maureen, of course, many of those out there who are working hard in their respective offices here at Radio Caribbean International. Of course, we want to thank all of them for assisting in this programming. And we hope that you can join us again for a brand new year, 2025, sometime in the month of January. So, of course, do enjoy your Christmas season. Do have a very happy Christmas and a very wonderful and prosperous 2025. Take care. Bye-bye.